All right, thanks, Ty. Now in the West on day one, scouts started the day in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, ending last night in Grand Island, Nebraska. USDA also expecting to see record corn yields in South Dakota of 162 bushels per acre and a pretty good sized soybean crop there at 47 bushels to the acre. Ag Day's Michelle Rook is traveling with the tour in the West. And Michelle, drought not as big a factor this year.
Despite heavy rains and flooding early in the season here in southeastern South Dakota, crop scouts are finding consistent corn yields, making USDA's record yield projections achievable, while soybeans may fall short due to high variability in pod counts. The historic flooding right after Father's Day in the southeast definitely left its mark.
You can see the washed out areas, the flooded out areas, and it seems like every field's got a problem of some sort.
Centerville farmer Craig Anderson received 18 inches of rain in 48 hours, destroying many of his fields, and he wasn't alone.
Using the satellite stuff, that we figured it was over 40,000 acres just in this area, just right alongside of the Vermilion River.
Acres that weren't zeroed out will see lower yields from increased weed pressure, variable maturity, and pod counts.
They might be down 10 or 15%. Just from all the low spots that are going to be drowned out.
A year ago, our pod counts in South Dakota were 1,013. We started off in the 1,300 range, but we've also been as low as 400.
So he says that makes hitting USDA's 47 bushel yield target tough.
I'm not seeing anything that makes me think it's a 47 bushel bean crop in South Dakota.
Scout Tim Gregerson found more uniformity in the corn, despite a sample that just pollinated last week.
I see a lot of consistent corn.
He encountered a few surprises, though, with southern rust and no signs of nitrogen loss from the heavy rains early.
So far, the color of the corn's pretty good here. The holes are evident. They're a little bit bigger than normal in this area of South Dakota than a normal year, the drowned out spots. But it's amazing how tight we've seen the yields between 170 and 174.
But is it the record 162 BPA yield USDA predicted for the state?
Looking at the potholes, you know that's going to take some out. So then you go to that ear count on the good spots. The ear count's been consistent enough that it's definitely possible.
Plus, he says the northern half of South Dakota may make up for the deficits in the southeast. I'm Michelle Rook reporting for Ag Day.
All right, thanks, Michelle. And we will bring you day one tour results tomorrow morning right here on Ag Day. And make sure to join us again tonight at 8 o'clock Central Time for Crop Tour Live, where we will bring you results from day two of the tour from Indiana and Nebraska. Just look for the link